Hello everybody, it is Monday and I am out in the shop and I'm going to try to get a few things done. Let me show you what I am going to finish up today. I've got these cypress blanks set out here. A buddy of mine sent them to me. He needs three slimline pens in chrome, one slimline mechanical pencil in chrome, and one slimline stylus in chrome. And then I've got a Purple Heart blank for my wife's uncle, and that one was a trick. That sucker, I drilled the first half of this blank and it split at the end, so I put the second half on and drilled it. And I literally drilled 1/4 of an inch and then I shut the drill press off, let it cool. I would come back, drill 1/4 of an inch, empty all the chips, let the drill press, let the bit cool. And I got all the way down to the end. It was perfect. As soon as I broke through the end, the son of a gun cracked. So I clamped it up and I've CA glued it, and that's thin CA. I soaked it. So it should be pretty good. I've got this candle warmer heating up, because I've got a number of bottle caps here that I want to go ahead and get the rubber seals out of them, so that I can cut the skirt off of them. Lost my train of thought there for a second. I've got all these tubes over here that are painted up that those bottle caps that go on, and those are ready to be cast. I've got my casting pot down here sitting relatively close to my heater to let it warm up. So we're going to probably try to do a little casting later today. I figured out what happened with those blanks that went white, and I've cleaned them up. 2 of the 4 blanks, the caps were perfect. 2 of them, the caps must have had like a lithograph laid onto the top of the cap, and I lost those 2, but you know, 2's not bad, I guess. But what I did wrong was my measurements. I put the wrong, not enough B resin in the mixture. And I know that because I wrote down what I did, and when I went back, this is why you guys want to write stuff down, take notes, because I wasn't thinking about it, you know, and I just kind of let it go and blew it off as maybe something's wrong with my resin, or you know, it's getting old or whatever. And somebody said something about checking the amounts you put in, and I was just going back through my notes and I looked, and sure enough, I did not put, let's see, I put 12 grams too little of part B. So that was 100% on me. I was short an entire tube. That was my fault. Not going to happen again. Today we're going to cast, and we are going to meticulously measure that resin. So let that be a lesson to you. Don't do what I did. I got one more thing to show you. This is a cracked wood blank that I'm working on. It's absolutely gorgeous. I just finished the CA. And you can see it's ingrained. There's all the growth rings of the wood in there. What I'm getting ready to do is micro mesh this and buff it up. It's got quite a number of coats of CA on it, because when you do ingrain just absorbs the CA glue. So I put 5 coats of thin on there, and there were still these blotchy spots where it looked like they were completely dry. And then I ended up putting 5 coats of medium on there. And the 4th coat looked pretty good, so I went ahead and put 1 more. So I've got a nice little lip. I always turn right down to the bushings, and then I put my CA on, and then I micro mesh back down to the bushings. And I got a little bit of a lip there I'm going to have to micro mesh off because I put 5 coats of medium on there. So it's going to be a little extra work on my part, but I've been turning for a number of years. Early on, I attempted to turn a couple of ingrain blanks and blew them all to heck and back. Didn't have any luck. And I've avoided them for a long time. Well, this was sent to me by the pen blank manufacturer. Let me get his business card. Where did I put that at? I'm gonna give you his info, and I'm gonna put this in the video too, because I'm doing a video on this. Pen blank manufacturer, his name is Andy Haas, H-A-A-S. He's out of Germany. And I met him over on Instagram, and I saw these cracked wood blanks he was making, and I commented, man, those things are incredibly sweet. And this has been several months back. Well, he was kind enough to send me one, and it's been sitting on my maker cart for quite a while, needing to be done. And finally I said, you know what? I have waited far too long. I need to get this blank turned. So I got it out, I prepped it, and I turned it, and there'll be a video coming out soon. I can't get away from the glare. There we go. So there'll be a video coming out soon, and the blank was long enough I could have made 2 pins out of. The first half I was being so careful, and it gave on me. And then I got to thinking, you know what? I'm turning in grain. There is a lot of grain here that can absorb CA glue, or there's a lot of opportunity for catch, really. So if I take and I fill that grain with CA glue, it's going to lock it together and make it more difficult to tear it apart. So I doused the blank, I doused the blank in CA, thin CA, cut the corners off, doused the corners in thin CA, turned it true, doused it 3 more times during turning, and then finally put a couple of finishing cuts on it right down to the bushings. I was sweating. Let me tell you, I was sweating like crazy. But it turned. It looks gorgeous. The finish looks amazing. I cannot wait to press it into a kit. Micro mesh, buff, and kit. So I think the worst is over. I'll show it to you guys when it's done. It's been a pretty good day, guys. I've got 4 blanks in the pressure pot. They come out. I can take a look at them in about 15 minutes, so I'll peek at them. That'll be 2 hours. That's actually about 2 hours and 10 minutes. So I should be able to take a peek at them at that point. It's been nice and warm in the shop, so I don't have any issue there. I got 2 pins done. And one of them is the cracked wood pin right there. Turned out beautiful. The other one is a lignum vitae pin. And there'll be videos on both of those. So they're finished up. I've got some tubes in acetone. These are some of the original glue ups that I did way back when I was heading down to Texas to visit Lynn Lacey. And I didn't do a very good job on them. I didn't have the caps tight against the tubes. So I'm going to soak those in acetone, release the CA glue, hopefully, slide them off, and be able to reuse them because there's some good caps there. And what I'm working on now, I've got a piece of cypress on the lathe. It just took its first coat of CA glue. And right over here, I've got its mates. Let's get this out of the way. This one, this back blank has a thin piece on it. This cypress is really soft. That one just needs to be micro meshed and buffed. And then I'm working on that one. This one needs to go. There's the stylus ready to rock and roll. And then that piece of purple heart, I haven't got to that yet. So what I'm going to do is get CA on all of these. By the time I get CA on this one, and the one on the lathe, that one, the back blank, I have remade over here. It should be good enough to trim the ends or ready. See how that chips out when you drill it? It's just really soft. So I drilled an extra long piece. You can see the tube way back in there. And I slid the tube down into the middle, and I'll go to the bandsaw and I'll trim it off as close as I can get it without hitting the tube, and then I'll just sand the rest off at the sander. That should give me a nice fit on my tube. It's just really soft. It's really dry too, so I don't know how old it is. I don't know if it was like, I don't know anything about it. It was the wood. It's the way the wood was sent to me. So I just got to make that back half of the pin, which shouldn't be a big deal. I'll make that, and then I'll get that one sanded and CA'd, and then we'll polish them all and assemble them, and I think I can get them all done today. That's my hope. I think that's about all I'm working on right now that I can think of. I'm trying to walk around and do a little bit of straightening up while the CA cures on the pin that's on the lathe. Guys, it is now 20 minutes till 5. It's been almost 3 hours since I put my molds in the pot. What I'm going to do is put the camera on the tripod. We're going to open the pressure pot together and see if I did it right. Just waiting for all the pressure to leave the pot, and don't like to start taking the screws off as long as there's pressure in there. Okay, set this out of the way. Oops, there's the seal. Oh, those are beautiful. Look at that. I'll bring them up to the camera. They're solid, so I don't have to worry about them, and they look gorgeous. Start off by pulling these plugs out. We toss them. I got a little cup here I keep them in, and then right before I use them, I spray a little mold release in the cup to get them, you know, to get the mold release on the stoppers. Oh, wow. Look at that. We've got an orange Jones Cola. Here's one I'm really looking forward to. This is Cheerwine. A lot of you guys have heard of Cheerwine. That's big down south of me. It's huge. Down around Georgia, Tennessee. Ooh, here we go. Look at that. Oh, that's perfect. That is perfect. And I've forgotten the name of the soda company. It'll come to me in a minute. Here's one of my personal favorites, Dang Root Beer. Love Dang Root Beer. All right. I am really excited about that. They turned out perfect. That tells me that I was correct. The issue I was having was not using the proper mixture of the components A and B. I was really short on B. Keeping notes covered my butt. So be sure if you start casting, you keep notes. I think what I'm going to do is, I don't know if I got enough ready to go. I was going to cast a second batch tonight. Yeah, I got 4 of them there. I think I may get back over here with the lathe for a few minutes, get some CA, and in between my CA, I may come over here and start working on a second batch. It just came to me while I was sending a photo out to Instagram. This particular blank is Boiling Bottling, and I love their sodas. They have a cherry cola that is amazing. So, having fun with these things. I'm not going to cast any more tonight. I changed my mind because I got a couple of caps back here that I want to put on some tubes, and I haven't finished cleaning them up. I got the skirts cut off. Rick Troop sent me this one, this one, this one, and this one. I drank this one the other day. It was a root beer, or actually no, it was a blue raspberry from Route 66. And don't worry, I don't drink, so I did not drink that one. I literally found that bottle cap. I got out of the car the other day in a White Castle parking lot, and that was laying right beside the car. So I picked it up, and I'm going to do a Bud Light bottle cap. I got a few more back here. I went ahead and cut a lot of the skirts off. I'll clean them up at the same time I clean these up. And the reason why is I want to put a Jones bottle cap on one of these to represent green apple. And I've got a reason for doing that. I tried to do it earlier, and it was one of the ones that got that turned white because I screwed the resin up. So I've got 5 or 6 caps over there, so I got plenty. So that's happening. I just got to get them cleaned up and bent around the tubes. Well, guys, it's been a really good day, but it's time to call it quits. I got my wife's pin fixed. I got the pin from Pin Blank Manufacturer, the crushed wood pin finished. I got the Lignum Vitae pin from Benny Ray Watkins finished. Videos on those two. And then I got the 5 pins, or 3 pins, 1 mechanical pencil, and 1 stylus finished from my buddy. Let me show them to you. There they are. This is very sentimental wood to my friend's father, so a mechanical pencil and a pen go to his father. He ordered 2 pencils, or 2 pens, and a stylus for himself. The only thing I didn't get done today is this, and this is the Purple Heart pen for my wife's uncle, but I can work on that a little bit later. I wasn't planning on this, but as a bonus, I cast 4 blanks today, and I believe I showed those to you earlier, didn't I? I think I did. Let me grab them, and we'll take them over. I'll show them to you real quick, just in case. You know what? I know I showed them to you because I couldn't remember boiling. Boiling soda, or boiling bottling was the one I couldn't remember. So yeah, my apologies. I did show those to you. That was a bonus, a huge bonus, because I figured out a problem and I wanted to test my theory. And I think I was dead on with what the problem was. So, been a good day. I think that's pretty darn good. I could stick around and turn the other one, but the kids are in the house and they've got another movie they want to watch tonight. I don't even remember what it is, but so I got to get in the house, clean up a little bit, and we're going to hang out, watch a movie, and maybe tomorrow night after work I can come out and turn that pen. I'll keep you guys posted. Take care. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you again real soon.